What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rising Sun Podcast. I'm Dean Howell, and this is the R-Check. So if you're a fan of the podcast, you know that we have a couple different versions of this thing. We got the numbered episodes where I have a guest on and interview them, have some pretty awesome folks on over the years. Yeah, I guess it's been the years at this point. And the other version of the podcast is this. It's the R-Check. It's a throwback, right? It's a call out to the Navy where we do preventive maintenance and, we do monthly, daily, yearly, semi-annually, all these things. And the R-Check is in reference to a maintenance check that we do when it's as required. And so, welcome to the R-Check. Because I got some time, man. I got some time, and I haven't talked to you guys in a while. So I thought I'd give you guys an update. The Rising Sun Podcast is not dead. I took a strategic pause, a little quick hiatus. I'll get into that in the episode. But I'm excited to get this back out there. This one will just be on YouTube. I will not release this one to Spotify. Well, I might throw the video up on Spotify. But anyways, point is that it's good to be back, and there'll be more to come. It'll be a little sporadic, probably till November, but I got a little time, man. I got a little time tonight. I got an admin day tomorrow, and so I got some time to talk to everybody. So thought about going live on Instagram, but it's kind of lame-o. Plus, I don't get to keep the file, and Instagram takes fucking charge of it. So I'm gonna record it. Might take a little while to upload on YouTube and Spotify, but I'm back, motherfuckers. So what's up? All right, man. Well, let's get into it. So what have I been up to? So why did I take a strategic pause? Couple reasons. The first and foremost was that during the whole month of September, my daughters, Hazel and Elizabeth, were playing volleyball. So Hazel is on the varsity team. She's a junior at Kinnick High School on the base in Yokosuka. And Elizabeth is a freshman, and she's on the junior varsity team. They both play libero, and I've missed so many games. I missed almost all of Millie's, my oldest daughter's, senior year of volleyball, and so I made a commitment that I was going to go to every game I possibly could, whether that's home or away, and I was able to keep that commitment, so that's good. Oh, by the way, squints is what my Chiefs call me because of these fucking glasses, but I don't care. I don't fucking care, okay? I can see you. Well, I can see me, but you know what I mean. So anyways, so I got to see as much volleyball as I possibly could. And in September as well, we were doing Chief Petty Officer initiation. So a lot of my followers here will know exactly what that is because they're either Navy Chiefs or they're familiar with the military. But CPO initiation, if you are not familiar, is a 6-week period that we do every year for newly selected Chief Petty Officers. So in the military, you have E6 to E7 in the enlisted rank structure. And in the Navy, you have E6 to E7, but you go from first class Petty Officer to Chief Petty Officer. And in the Navy, you change uniforms, you wear a different uniform, and kind of your expectations go from here to here. And so we teach our newly selected chiefs just kind of a new way of looking at the Navy. It's a little bit of a peer behind the curtain because they're expected to be upper mid-level managers once they're chiefs. And so we call it initiation because, quite frankly, that's what we're doing. We're showing them a new way of doing things. We're showing them a new way of thinking, of being, and we're initiating them into our fellowship, our brotherhood, if you will. And so it's not just like a training program. It's a very intensive, life-altering 6-week period. So for me as a Command Master Chief, it's super time intensive. And so I just wanted to dedicate all of my effort to those two things. So to my girls playing volleyball, going to all the games I possibly could, and then to Chief Petty Officer initiation. Both were very successful, and I'm super excited about it. And so, I think the lesson to be learned here is, because it's the R Check, so we're going to talk about things that I've learned, and hopefully they'll help you. So I think the lesson to be learned here is that it's okay to have a strategic pause. It's okay, like if you got some passion, if you've got something that you're going after, especially if it's not something that's making you money, your livelihood does not depend on it. It's just something that maybe more than a hobby, but like a podcast, or maybe you love to write, or maybe you have some athletic pursuit. It's okay to have this strategic pause. That doesn't mean that you're undisciplined. It doesn't mean that you're unmotivated. It just means that you need to focus your efforts in another place for a temporary period, for a finite period. And for me, I defined that initially September, but I've kind of pushed it to the right a little bit, probably till November. But this strategic pause has been really good for me because it's allowed me to kind of refine my message and to learn some things and to meet some new people. And I've learned a lot from the people that I've met, and kind of found a little bit of a new lease on life. And so I think that this strategic pause is really good for me, is what I'm saying. And I encourage you, if you have the opportunity, don't quit your job. Unless you're ready for that. But if you have some pursuit that you're really into, but life is just happening and you need to pay attention to life, then pay attention to life, right? Because you can move that thing just to the side and then get right back to it. Okay, so that's the lesson learned on strategic pause. Okay, current situation. Yes, I have notes in front of me. I don't usually do notes, but I got a lot to talk about tonight. So yes, I have notes in front of me. And so if you see me glancing down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Okay, current situation. First of all, I have a glass of wine, which I'm now going to take a sip of. It's a pretty good red. Okay, let's talk about my current situation. I am at the Hilton in Manila in the Republic of the Philippines, and I'm here as a part of a bilateral exercise with the Philippine Navy, U.S. Navy, Philippine Navy. And the exercise is called Sama Sama. I don't have no idea what that means. It sounds pretty cool though. But it's a large scale exercise that involved the Philippines, the United States, and some of our other partners. And our part of Sama Sama has been that ship repair facility, we were requested by our counterparts in the Philippine Navy, their ship repair command, to come to Manila and go to Cavite Naval Base and conduct training on ship maintenance and repair. And so that's what I'm doing here. And I'll tell you, man, it's been interesting. And please don't take this as me talking shit or anything like that. But it's been really interesting, but also challenging, because just the Philippine Navy is such a fledgling Navy. And, we're going up there and we're talking about, a $450 million budget in 1 year. And, our maintenance practices in the Navy and our repair and our availability schedule is just very well defined. And we have all the IT solutions to help us with it, and the staffing, and and then specifically at SRF JRMC in Japan at SRF, we have an organic workforce that does most of our work. So it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 70% organic workforce, and then 30% contracted. And so we're kind of spoiled, right? Because we have a workforce that we can kind of adjust what they're going toward, and just the Philippines just doesn't have that. Now they have a small Navy, obviously. It's 200 some odd ships that we have, and I mean, they might have like 20 crafts that they're taking care of, but they're trying. And that's what's so beautiful, right? What's so beautiful is the first time that we've done this, and they want to learn, and they're very, very, able to learn and very intelligent, and they want to like organize their ship repair practices in a way that will be efficient and effective. And that's what we came here to help them with. Now, I'll be honest with you, like a lot of the shit that we're talking about is like straight over their head, and it's not because they don't have the ability to comprehend, or it's not that at all. It's that just our business practices for ship maintenance and repair are light years ahead of anything that they've been exposed to. But I will say this, man, it has been a fantastic 3 days, and we've got 2 days left where we've made some great connections. We have become friends. We spent, some long days together in this conference center. Lots of questions, lots of engaging conversation, and it's just been really good, man. And so we'll finish up these next 2 days. On Friday, we'll have a barbecue. After we hand out certificates, we're going to give them certificates, as kind of like a graduation from our training program. And it's just been really good. Like, the engagement has been fantastic, and I'm glad I came. So now, why does that matter? Well, I'll tell you why it matters. It's this area called the Spratly Islands. Let's talk about it, right? If you listen to my episode that I did with Brian Bishop on the Lone Element podcast, I'm not hawkish on China, but I understand the gravity of the situation. I mean, I've been out here my whole career. Like, I get it. Like, they want to be the regional hegemon, and for sure they think that the Philippine people are inferior to them. They will bully them. They will intimidate them. They will take anything they want to if the Philippines does not stand up to them, and if we don't help the Philippines stand up to them. So, that's why it matters. We're going to help them get to a place where they can maintain their own equipment. They can keep their ships out to sea. They can protect their interests around their coast. And I'm happy to be a part of that, man. I really am, because I'm not down with these bullies out here. I'm really not. And you know what, man? You can talk shit all you want. Well, what about America? Well, you know what? Fuck you. Like, we've been a force for good for the last 70 plus years, and we saved a lot of people's ass here and in Europe. Whether it's basically all of Europe or the Philippines, Australia. We saved a lot of y'all's asses during World War II. And I got it, man. We catch a bad rap. We've done some stupid shit. But at the end of the day, we're not going to let a bully, just take over in this part of the world. Somebody tried it before, man. Somebody tried it before. Japan did, and they didn't win. So China won't win this one either. So that's why it matters. That's why it matters that we're in the Philippines right now, is to show our support for a country who has been a close ally of ours for a long time, and who we have a very, very close cultural connection with, especially in the Navy. Some of my best friends in the Navy are Filipino, and so, like, I'll do anything to help them bolster their own self-defenses and, help them remain a sovereign state and not ruled by China. There it is. So, okay, enough about that. So, the rest of my trip is pretty exciting. I'm going to leave here coming up this weekend. I'll leave here on like Saturday, and, Saturday night, overnight flight to Sydney. And I'll get to Sydney. I'll hang out in Sydney for a day or so, and meet up with my boy Brian Bishop. Shout out Brian. Might get to meet Kate finally. Well, meet Brian finally, but meet Kate also. Pretty stoked about that. And then going to shoot down to Tasmania. I figure, man, like my flight from Manila to Perth, which is where I'm going eventually. There's no direct flight to Perth. Go figure. So I figured I'd, take advantage and, go to Sydney and then shoot down Tasmania because I've never been. And I kind of want to go see what these Tasmanian devils are all about, because like we grew up as kids watching the cartoon and so I'm gonna go see a Tasmanian devil. That's what I'm gonna do. Anyways, and so I'm stoked to go down there. It's gonna be nice and cold because obviously it's like almost to fucking Antarctica. But I'm looking forward to that too because it was hot as fuck in Japan in August. So go down there. One of my friends, Josh, actually has a distillery down there where he's making some whiskey. So I may try to link up with him and go see if I can't, get a taste off of that. Apparently it's still in the cask aging. And so maybe it's not quite ready to pop open yet, but doesn't hurt to ask, right? So anyway, so I'll spend a few days down in Taz, and then I'll come back to Sydney, hang out with BB again for one night, then head over to Perth. Heading to Perth because this is all open source, so I'm not sharing anything secret. So you may have heard of the AUKUS agreement, Australia, UK, US, and essentially what it is that we've entered an agreement with Australia to sell them the Virginia class attack sub and also to basically give them the plans and teach them how to build it. And so all of that build up for Australia to host and eventually manufacture, build, I guess the right term, the Virginia class attack sub, all of that is happening in and around Perth, which is southwest Australia. And so in my role as the Command Master Chief at SRF JRMC, our footprint and our influence in this part of the world is expanding. And so basically anything from the international date line to the Indian Ocean, right? IDL to the IO, okay? That becomes our area of responsibility for ship repair and maintenance. And so, we have Singapore now, Straits of Malacca, and we anticipate that we will need a footprint in Australia. There's several places we're looking at, but Perth makes a lot of sense geographically and also because of this AUKUS agreement that there will be a footprint already. And so that's one of those places where you can enter into some memorandums of agreement or MOUs, memorandums of understanding, to kind of utilize some of the resources that are already going to be there. So, so I'm looking forward to going to Perth. Actually, I say Perth, but I'm going to stay in Fremantle. Again, my boy Josh Lee, Navy diver, works at the diving school over in Sydney at HMAS Penguin. So he recommended some spots in Fremantle, including a hotel and some breweries and distilleries. So we'll go check that out in Fremantle. So anyways, heading to Perth. So like I said, why does Australia matter? Australia matters because, let me say this in an unclassed kind of way. So it's like, it's outside of the second island chain. And it's a good area to retreat should you need to from the South China Sea. I hope that makes sense. And I'm not trying to be cryptic, but I also don't want to cross any lines. So anyways, it's the same reason why it mattered in World War II, okay? It's because it is in a very strategic location where it's slightly isolated and away from the thick of things, if you will, and out of the reach of certain things. So, yeah. So anyways, that's why Australia matters, and that's why we, and also, why Australia matters is because I've been all over the world, and Australia is one of the places where United States, like Americans, we share such similar values. Like this idea of rugged American individualism, like that matters in Australia too. Being independent, being self-sufficient, being a little hard, like that stuff matters in Australia. And I think that, at least from my observations, having traveled pretty much everywhere, except for I haven't been to Europe much, well, at all. But I've been to Australia enough to know that, like, man, we're not that different. We're probably the most alike. Like, as an American, the people that I identify with the most are Australians, because we align a lot in our values, systems, and just kind of like our outlook on the world. So anyway, so that's that. Okay, so I guess that's the recap, right? Like the recap is that I took a little break, and I'm happy I did. I hope you can tell that I'm energized, like I'm getting after it. I'm super stoked. Like life is good right now, and sometimes people come into your life that change things and give you energy, and I've had a fair amount of that happen over these last several months, so I'm grateful for that. But anyways, so that's kind of the recap. Okay, now here's what I want to talk about though, and like we're 20 minutes in now, I'm getting to the message. So hopefully you stuck with me, because this is what I really want to talk about. We live in a society, a world where, and I've said this on our checks before. We live in this society, in this world where most people, they think they know what they want, and whether or not they actually know what they want, they fucking want it right now. This instant gratification mindset is a plague in our society. It's a plague, and it is contributing to a lot of bad shit going on, I think. And so, sorry, I got to get a little serious on this one. So, like, you remember that old saying, patience is a virtue. It sounds so cliche, but truly, patience is a virtue. Being able to wait for something that matters to you, maybe that's dinner's going to be like an hour late, or maybe it's your promotion at work, or maybe it's some future goal that you have. Maybe it's wealth, success, fame. Who fucking knows, right? Like, waiting for that thing is valuable, because it makes it more valuable. It makes it more worthwhile when that thing actually happens. Like, if I said I want $1 million fucking dollars, right? My dad used to say all the time, like, I'd say, hey, I want an ice cream. He'd be like, well, I want $1 million. We don't always get what we want. Like, probably not great parenting, but you see the point, right? Like waiting for that thing is valuable. It gives whatever it is that you're going for a greater sense of that you earned it. Now, here's the thing though, right? Is that you can't wait for what you want. It's like, I love this person. I want to be with this person. I'm just going to wait for the right time. Well, that's a recipe for disaster. I want to start a business. I want to be a coach to people. I'm just going to wait for the right time. Well, that's not going to fucking work, is it? And so, like, there's this thing where you have to have patience, but you also have to move toward the thing. And so you have to take action, right? I know this sounds like kind of rudimentary, but here's the thing is that like so many people just, they're like, hey man, like I either want it now, and if it doesn't happen in like 2 months, then like, it's all good. Or like, man, eventually I'm going to be like, successful, but I'm going to keep doing the same shit that I did yesterday. Well, no, you're not. You're going to be a fucking loser. But if you fix your mind on the thing that you want, the thing that you most desire in the world, the thing that is going to make you the happiest and the most fulfilled and most connected, if you fix your mind on that thing, and then you start moving toward it. And if moving toward that thing makes you happy, then why must you set a timeline? As long as you have all your basic needs taken care of, right? You're taking care of your health, you got plenty to eat, you got shelter, your family is happy if you have a family. As long as like you're taking care of all your basic needs, right? Then why must you hurry toward that thing? Especially if the pursuit toward that thing brings you joy. Like just keep chasing it. And inevitably, and I can tell you this based on my professional career, if you just do your best and you look for opportunity and you don't shy away from challenge, if you'll do these things and keep moving towards your goal, then you're going to get there. You're going to get there. And so in my life, I'm moving toward a future that I feel strongly about. And the steps that I'm taking every day in my life bring me joy. And so I'll just keep moving. I'll keep moving toward it. And if I get there soon, cool. If it takes 10 years, that's also cool. Because I find joy in moving toward this future that I've decided upon. Okay? So I guess to recap, be patient. But don't be patient without action. Be patient in realizing that future goal that you want, but understand that it's going to take a lot of fucking work to get there. Okay? So, I guess that is the message for the night. Just move towards your future life, man. Expect changes to all of your plans, but just keep your eye on the prize. Okay? Got it? All right. So, let me throw my glasses back on. I got to look at my notes. Went on a little rant there. Let's see here, man. What do I have? So, November, I will get back on here in earnest. I'm trying to get one of the participants in the most recent season of Alone on the show. And she's committed. I went on my little strategic pause, so I got to re-engage. And we'll see, man. Maybe when I'm in Sydney, maybe me and BB will do like a live or something. I don't know. And I'd love to have Matt back on, Matt Vincent. Shout out to Bonnie. Hey, girl, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're recovering well. And I never take rose off my neck, right? I don't know how to say it. I think it's Dromore Designs. So Bonnie makes malas. This one is Jasper and Brown Agate. I basically never take it off, man. So thank you. Yeah, man, like check out Not Dead Yet brand, Not Dead Yet Life. Matt's doing his thing over there. Helping coach a lot of us on taking action toward our dreams. And You know, got some pretty dope apparel too. Everybody's fucking with me, man, but I don't really give a fuck. Right? That's my everyday carry fanny pack. You can get that on the Not Dead Yet app or on the website. It's like $50. It's fucking legit, man. Look at this fucking, right? Boop. If I was in the States, this would be my everyday carry fanny pack. But I carry like gum and wallets and fucking sweat rags in it now. So anyways, it's a fucking dope ass fanny pack. Okay. All right. Last thing is, man, big news for 2027. I have officially notified my detailer that I will be retiring in 2027. Right around the same time that Elizabeth graduates from high school, I will finish up my career at SRF JRMC, and I will retire when she graduates from high school and go get her set up in college in Texas, and then move on from there, man. And hopefully, I won't talk about that here. I will not talk about what my future plans are, except, like I said, I do have future plans and I am moving toward them. I am moving toward them in a reasonable pace that will not disrupt the fucking force. And I'll continue to do so. And I hope that you'll do the same thing. Hey, I always end like this, man. If you have hopes, dreams, aspirations, the only way you're going to get there is just don't fucking quit. It's the fucking wallpaper on my screen, man. It's the wallpaper on my cell phone. Don't fucking quit. You're going to hit roadblocks. You're going to fall off the wagon. You're going to feel unworthy. You're going to wish that you could do more. But the only way that you're going to get to that thing that you most want in life is to just not fucking quit. So don't quit. All right, guys. I'm back. Keep rising.